Donald Trump has been duped by a white supremacist conspiracy theory that white South Africans, especially Afrikaner farmers, are being systematically murdered and having their land stolen. This claim has been widely debunked by researchers, human rights organizations, and the South African government. That didn't stop the racist Donald Trump from ambushing the South African president Cyril Ramaphosa today in the Oval Office, embarrassing himself with a lack of knowledge, details, and fact.
You're taking people's land away
we have not.
From them. And those people, in many cases, are being executed. They're being executed. And they happen to be white, and most of them happen to be farmers. Mm-hmm. And that's a tough situation. I don't know how you explain that. How do you explain that?
He brandished a collection of biased right-wing news articles, supposedly as proof that the conspiracy was real. He dimmed the lights and showed unsubstantiated video as so-called evidence. As is typical of Trump, he said the quiet parts out loud, admitting that his friend Elon Musk feels particularly strongly about this issue.
Elon is from South Africa. I don't want to get Elon involved. That's all I have to do, get him into another thing. But Elon happens to be from South Africa. This is what Elon wanted.
What is true is that South Africa has a high overall crime rate, including murder, and that farmers, regardless of race, are sometimes victims. However, there is no credible evidence that white farmers are disproportionately targeted because of their race. Most analysis shows that attacks on farms are driven by economic motivations and general lawlessness, not ethnic cleansing or racial policy. Despite this, the narrative of a white genocide gained traction in certain international media outlets, especially within parts of the right-wing ecosystem. Fox News, particularly through figures like Tucker Carlson, has broadcast segments amplifying this narrative under many guises, including the white replacement theory. Donald Trump's 2018 tweet about the large-scale killing of farmers and land seizures in South Africa echoed these claims, despite the US State Department and experts rejecting the genocide framing. This progression from fringe conspiracy to mainstream talking point illustrates how disinformation can leap into the political arena when boosted by influential media and political figures who should know better. It's an example of how misinformation, when left unchecked, can shape policy discussions and international relations, going as far as, this month, Trump fast-tracking white South Africans as refugees into America to escape the so-called genocide. The claim of a white genocide in South Africa, particularly targeting white farmers, has been thoroughly investigated and consistently debunked by credible sources, including government agencies, courts, and independent researchers.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But, Mr. President, I must say that we have, we have thousands of stories talking about it. Sure. And we have documentaries, we have news stories, and that.
Between October and December 2024, there were 6,953 murders in the country, with no evidence suggesting a targeted campaign against white individuals. And while farm attacks do occur, they are not exclusively or disproportionately directed at white farmers.
And these are people that are officials, and they're saying that kill the white farmer and take their land. That's what it is. And I have other friends in South Africa, I have people that left, one in particular that says you can't go there. He said they want to take your land, they take your land and they kill you. It's okay, and they say it's okay to do. Now, we're going to talk about it, but this is a tremendous, look, this is a story recent. These are all people that recently got killed.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it can get any worse. These are, and you know, the men that you saw, the people that you saw in that movie, those are officials. Those are people that were in office. They had one march, they had a dance in your parliament, whatever you may call it, legislature.
Well, let me clarify that.
Yeah,
let me clarify that, because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can take land.
And then when they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
nothing happens to them.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
the farmers are black. The farmers are not black. I don't say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black.
South African courts have dismissed the notion of a white genocide as baseless. In a notable case, a judge ruled that the idea was clearly imagined and not real, emphasizing the lack of evidence supporting such claims. And South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and other officials have refuted allegations of a white genocide, stating that while crime is a serious issue, it affects all citizens, regardless of race.
People need to sit down around a table and talk about it.
Well, there are problems.
And this is precisely what we would also like to talk about, including, of course, trade matters, investment matters. So the issues that concern you as the United States,
those are all those are all deaths.
Yeah.
They've also highlighted that land reform initiatives are aimed at addressing historical injustices and are not targeted at any specific racial group.
We have hundreds of people, thousands of people trying to come into our country because they feel they're going to be killed and their land is going to be confiscated. And you do have laws that were passed that gives you the right to confiscate land for no payment. You can take away land for no payment.
I want to clarify that, because we have a constitution. Our constitution guarantees and protects the sanctity of tenure of land ownership. And that constitution protects all South Africans with regard to land ownership.
Nonetheless, Donald Trump, Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk will continue to push the narrative of a white genocide in South Africa, despite it lacking factual basis and is not supported by crime statistics, judicial findings, or statements from South African authorities. It's important to approach these claims critically and to rely on verified information from reputable sources.
If this were the other way around, it would be the biggest story. Now, I will say apartheid, terrible. That was the biggest story. That was reported all the time. This is sort of the opposite of apartheid. What's happening now is never reported. Nobody knows about it. All we know is we're being inundated with people, with white farmers from South Africa. And it's a big problem. Marco Rubio was telling me he's never seen anything like it. The numbers of people that want to leave South Africa because they feel they're going to be dead.
I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with MeidasTouch.
Love this video? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch and help us blow past 1 million followers.